Hi, this is Savara from Scrubby Mania, and today I'm going to create a double spread layout. And I'm almost at the end of the 20-page album I'm creating for my sister-in-law. So here I'm just using some of the scraps left over from all the papers I've been cutting. And then I decided to use a smaller photo mat to put two small pictures. And then I'm using the Dear Lizzie phrase stamp, and it says Happy Places. And I'm also adding a star to the tag um, up there. Here I'm outlining all of my layers like I've been doing throughout the album. And one tip I would give you if you're planning to create theme album is that you need to do something in common with all the pages. And for this album, the common factor of all my pages are the outlining on the edges with blank ink. Here I decided I wanted to put some kind of shape on the side of that paper, and I decided to use a scallop stamp that I have. And also I decided to use some glitter embossing powder just to give it a little sparkle, and it really made a difference, I think, by putting that little touch of stamping on the side of that page. It really made a difference. Another thing that I've been doing that's common throughout the album is photo tabs. I've been putting photo corners on most of my mats, or even on one of the layers, with one of the paper layers within the album. So I'm just gluing it down, and this one is going to have more a geometric shape than my other album, and it's going to have a lot of white space. And it's kind of going pretty quickly. So I'm sewing around the edges with my sewing machine. Now I have gotten a lot of comments whenever I showcase my sewing machine or do sewing on my page with this machine about the type of machine that I'm using. This is a Singer, and you find it at Walmart, Target, any of those discount stores have this little machine, and it's less than 15 bucks. And it's pretty good. I really love it. I do have a big sewing machine, but my sewing machine tends to be a little heavy, and I really don't like bringing it out just to do one small little stitch. So that's why I like that one. Now here again, I'm making another tab, and I'm actually using a little heart that I created by hand, and I'm placing that on the tab, and I'm also using the Dear Lizzie phrase stamp to put a little phrase on that tab. I'm outlining again all my pieces and gluing it down. And I'm going to go ahead and put regular photo mats. I'm going to do the same treatment. I'm going to put some a scallop edge, and some of my glitter paint, my glitter embossing powder. And I really love that embossing powder. If you want to know the name of it, it's called Gold, and it's by Stupendous. And I found that at Michael's. That's where I found the embossing powder, and it was pretty reasonable. Put in the photo tabs, and actually for this one I'm using regular size photo mats. And I'm going to put that tab right on the side, just putting a little bit, making sure that all my edges are here down. And then that tag that you see there that says You and Me was actually created with a Technique Tuesday stamp, and is actually one of the Ali Edwards studio stamps that I acquired a long time ago. I'm doing the same thing, sewing around the edges with my sewing machine. One thing with this sewing machine, it takes a little practice as you use it more, because you have to kind of control it a little better. Otherwise, your stitching will just be very wavy, which I do like that. So I don't mind it not being completely straight. But if you want something that's really straight on your pages, It's a little more difficult to do that with this sewing machine. So now I cut these little arrows from the paper. So I just took a strip, folded it in half, and then just cut in the angle, and that created my arrows for the bottom of the page. And then in a moment I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but here I have these letters that I cut out with my Cricut, and that airplane was actually a stamp by Tim Holtz, and it's a travel stamp. And actually, I have my sister has been with me the whole week, and we've been doing a lot of scrapbooks and a lot of layouts. So she's actually given me some advice on the placement of my embellishments. So that's what you saw earlier, the hand that was kind of moving the wax paper around. That was my sister. It was real nice. I really, really enjoyed the time we had here for this 4th of July weekend. It was just a great time. We really had fun, especially going out and shopping to the different craft stores that I have in town. So here, I'm just placing a compass on the top. And then I believe I used that star somewhere. And if you want to know how I created that puffy star, I will go ahead and put the link on the description. So here's how I create those arrows. I just cut in the angle and cut a strip and then cut in the angle, and it creates my arrows. When you cut your strip, make sure that you fold it in half, and then you cut all the arrows at one time in the angle like I was doing there earlier, and that will ensure that your arrows will be uniform, and also that the center of the arrow is in the center. The point is in the center. I decided to put a geotag right there next to the tab, and I'm almost done with this layout. And here it is, a closer look at the layout. The title of the layout says it's all about the journey. So there's one page, and here's the second page. And thank you for watching. Bye now.